And then, the goddess spoke a word beyond Farhad's understanding. Returning to the Revelations realm brought a lump to Farhad's throat. Dread shuddered down his spine. "We shouldn't be here," he said. "The Div, Bistun, it will..." "It cannot hurt us," Anahita interrupted. "Trust me." Anahita was right. Bistun pounded against the red mist, but could not force its way through. Anahita became animated. "I have found the key to the memory stone," she said. She told Farhad that a single word was engraved on it, only visible in the Revelation realm's strange light. Oblivion. "What does that mean?" Farhad asked. "It is the key to all Seed's heart," the goddess said. "It is where our friend now rests." Anahita's voice was quiet and strained. "Yes, this is the memory of my imprisonment." The engraving featured 3 people. On the right was Anahita in human form. On the left, Farhad's love, Shirin. "But who is the man in the middle?" Farhad asked. Anahita sighed. "My greatest mistake." Farhad staggered as the earth growled and shuddered beneath his feet. The beast, caged for now, was banging on the bars with blows so mighty they crossed realms. "We have Bistun's attention," Anahita said. "You must confront it." I'm not ready," Farhad said. "How can I defeat such a creature?" Anahita spread a wing. "Look around. Look at what you've created. How far you've come." "There is greater strength inside you than you care to acknowledge." "Fear is inevitable, but you must not let it control you. If you do, then you have already lost. Follow me," Anahita continued. "I owe you answers." "He is my great mistake," Anahita said. "I chose him, and I chose poorly." "How does this help me defeat Bistun?" Farhad asked. Anahita sighed. "You still have much to learn, human. Patience, for one. Everything has a weakness," the goddess said. "Humans, Div, even gods. But before Anahita could say what Bistun's weakness was, she told Farhad they first had to address his. Guardian Deve, the usurpers of my... Anahita trailed off. Wait, someone is nearby. Farhad blinked. His jaw dropped. He couldn't believe who stood before him. She was more graceful than a swan, more beautiful than a moonlit lake. Farhad knew he should have felt only relief at seeing Shirin safe. But to his great shame, his happiness was tinged with chagrin. He had dreamed of saving her from imprisonment, yet here she stood. How did you escape? Farhad eventually said, his voice trembling. Escape, Shirin said, with furrowed brow. Why would I need to escape my castle? I have been there since you built the milk canal. But, you whispered to me, Farhad began. You are not well, Farhad, Shirin said. I have come to plead with you to stop this madness. But Shirin, my love, I do all this for you. Shirin cast down her eyes. I am sorry if I have misled, but you must know, I do not love you. With those words, the bottom dropped out of Farhad's world. But he had no time to brood. Hurry, Anahita said. She is in grave danger. Forget her harsh words. Prove that you are worthy of her affection. And though Farhad was frightened, his mind racing, he knew what had to be done. Damage it yet. Hurry, Anahita said. She is in grave danger. Forget her harsh words. Prove that you are worthy of her affection. And though Farhad, he knew what... voice with excitement. "The bell, Farhad! Ring the bell! Ring the bell!" Anahita cried. "Avoid its blows," Anahita called. "You cannot damage it yet." Would not peal, her small eyes brimming with sorrow. Anahita caught Farhad's despairing stare. "Save her," the goddess said. "Do not make a mistake as grave as mine." Anahita fought hard, but could not withstand the Diev's might. Farhad wept, for he had lost another friend to Bistun. Despite Shirin's cruel rebuff, Farhad longed to help her, but he could make no sense of her injuries. He gripped Allseed's amethystine heart as the drowning man clutches the rope. "I failed you," he whispered to the stars. "Please, show me what to do." And then, a memory floated to the surface. A single word: oblivion. "Don't give up," Farhad pleaded. "Stay with me." Farhad cradled her in his arms, as if she were made of porcelain, and he saw something wonderful: the slight rise and fall of her chest. "I will take you home, princess," Farhad whispered. The rain ran down his craggy face in rivulets, masking his tears. "Perhaps you do not love me," he said, sobbing. "But I fought a mountain for you, and I put trusting friends in harm's way. And selfish as it may be, I would do it all again." As Farhad walked, Shirin started murmuring. Farhad leaned close. She whispered but a single word: "Khosrow." Suddenly, it all made sense to Farhad. The stone carving. The two were the perfect couple. The king of Persia and the princess of Armenia. How could a lowly sculpture question such a union? Suddenly, Farhad ground his teeth as a great fury washed over him. Not at Shirin, or even Khosrow, but at himself. What was I thinking? How could a princess love someone like me? But it doesn't do to wallow in self-loathing, and other questions wormed their way through Farhad's anger. If not Shirin, then who does the whisper belong to? How could he defeat Bistun and enter the fortress of oblivion. Why even try now? Farhad was ashamed by his selfish musings. What happened to Anahita? He thought. Does she need my help? Lost in his wretched thoughts, Farhad nearly failed to notice something alarming. Shirin's dainty feet were turning gray. I can't feel my legs, Shirin mumbled. Shh, be at peace, Farhad reassured her. You will be all right, as Anahita was. Shirin furrowed her brow. Anahita? Farhad swallowed and drew in a deep breath. She is your guardian. She risked everything to help me. He trailed off with a hoarse croak. I should check the rift is still sealed, Farhad thought, recalling the memory stone. Greetings, Farhad. My sources tell me you are a man of your word. Perhaps I should be impressed. Something about Khosrow's tone set Farhad on edge. When the riders came, he decided to be absent. Greetings, Farhad. My sources... Greetings, Farhad. My sources tell me you are a man of your word. Perhaps... My lady, Farhad began, forgive me. I could sit here by your side for 100 years, and the gentle rise and fall of your chest alone would sustain me. Farhad swallowed a sob. But I cannot stay. Anahita, the one I mentioned. I must find her, but do not be afraid. The king's men approach like thunder. You will be safe with them. Safer than you ever will be with me. And with that, he gently kissed his love on the forehead and resigned himself to never seeing her again. Princess Shirin traveled here alone. Farhad tried to reassure himself. Harm will not befall her. The choice was a difficult one, but Farhad could not abandon his friend. After all, both he and Shirin owed Anahita their lives. And while a broken heart may ache for years, death happens but once. Perhaps Anahita's last temple would suggest her whereabouts. Khosrow's letter was condescending, haughty, oppressive. Shirin would no doubt be safe with the king, but at what cost? Farhad's fingers brushed. So that is how you came to be, old friend, he muttered. Farhad had failed to ring the giant bell in the battle against Bistun. If I had been able, he thought, perhaps Anahita would still be here. As Farhad stared at the smooth, gray stone of Shirin's statue, her foot, her skin was turning to stone. Of course, Khosrow's letter had alluded to something else. An agreement between Farhad and the king. Why does he want passage through Mount Bistun? Farhad wondered. And what wish does he speak of? Could it be Shirin? The thought angered Farhad. The princess was not a prize to be awarded. Farhad feared the worst. The Div was mighty and terrifying. And if Anahita had overcome it, why hadn't she returned? When night falls, I could return for this, Farhad thought. Khosrow was not the solution to Farhad's problems. Bistun caused the blight, and no Div would bow to a king, no matter how powerful. She will be back in her castle now, Farhad tried to convince her. All this will be behind her. Battled within Farhad, but resolve overcame both. This time, he knew what had to be done. Visit a strange place often enough, and it soon loses its mystique. But this was the memory stored within all Seed's heart. A story Farhad needed to know. It looks like some sort of mold. It looks like some sort of mold. Stone shattered. Molten iron flowed. Hot and angry. Farhad scoured his memories for all Seed's last words. To kill a mountain. Build something new. The mountain was clear, but build what? All Seeds have a memory of a smithy, Farhad thought. After all, fire and trees do not usually well mix. The sledgehammer was huge and heavy, but Farhad carried it with ease. As he rounded the corner in the floating path, a gasp escaped Farhad's lips. Shattered remnants of his friend hung suspended in the air, unmoving, cold, lifeless. Do not ask for whom the bell tolls, Dave, Farhad shouted into the darkness. It tolls for thee! The bell's mighty peal rent the air, sending Bistun crashing to the floor. This is for my friends, Farhad cried.